Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 6th edition of Friday Night Live, Uncovering Creatives. My name is Jennifer, and I am happy to welcome you from the comfort of your homes, I guess, because no live audience, but you tuned in, so you are here with us via either Zoom or Pakhuis or Facebook, but thank you very much for joining. I do have amazing guests in the studio today, so that's going to be amazing. And you're here with us. Speaking of Zoom, I'm going to address it right away because you are able to join in with us in conversation. If you have a question for the amazing creatives that I'll be talking with tonight, please answer that question or ask that question via the Zoom, and it will come here on my iPad, and then I will be able to ask the question for you. It's going to be amazing because during Uncovering Creatives, I get the chance to talk to those creative frontrunners who will leave their mark on the scene, whether it be film, video, photography, fashion, music, all of the good stuff. They do it, and we would like to know, how do they do that? What do they do and what not? Okay, so all about creative entrepreneurship today. We're going to get those amazing tips, no pressure, but y'all have the answer. We think so. So this week I have in the studio with me PR creative Sunny Jansen.
Oh, hey. Good evening.
Yeah, also known as the amazing DJ cover girl Sunny. And yeah, but now especially PR management for that amazing brand Daily Paper. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes. Happy that you came, that you accepted the invitation.
Of course. Always here to help anyone in need.
In need. We were in need. And next to Sunny, we have visual artist who does a lot of things, amazing things, great things, raising the pressure, raising the bar. The one and only Brian Ellstock is in the studio.
Hello.
Where's the audience?
No, I'm trying my best English. I hope it works.
It works a little bit. How you doing,
Cool.
Brian?
Good. Good. Thank you.
Happy that you're here. And we have another guest who is joining us the whole evening via Zoom. Very, very, very happy that also a very creative visual artist who does a lot of things, who's also the co-founder of Sexyland, Aukje Dekker. Aukje, are you there?
I'm here.
Yes.
I'm gutted. I'm not there.
Yeah, you got it. That you know. We are also, because we were like really, I was ready for that power table of the three of y'all sitting here. And
I know. I'm seriously gutted.
But it's okay.
I'm zooming already all the time. I'm almost so annoyed I have to get over myself to become happy for this evening. So I'm going to pretend I'm with you.
Yeah, but indeed, because you're still with us here, at least you didn't say, okay, I can't be there, so I'm not here. You're here, and we'll try to make it as comfortable
Lipstick,
as possible.
everything.
So everybody forgets, oh my God, was she in Zoom? I thought she was there.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to do this. That's how we're going to do this. All right, so once again, if you're checking in, thank you very much for tuning in. You are able to ask questions via Zoom. I will address that again and again, so you will not forget. But to begin with all three of you amazing creatives doing whatever you do, we're going to start with, let's say, a little bit of the beginning of your entrepreneurship, of your career, of your creative career. Looking back in the first, let's say, 5 years in the business, what was something you did that was great, or something that you say, I shouldn't have done that? Thinking of those beginning years, the beginning 5 years. It could be something that you did that you say, yeah, that was a great move. Or it could be, shouldn't have done that, but learned my lesson. Who would like to start?
Brian?
Aukje?
Yeah, I can always start. I know the first thing I know that it's difficult because a lot of times when you do something, then after all, you are here where you are now because of all the things you did, bad or good, you know. So it's a bit difficult to say I would have done it differently because I'm afraid I wouldn't have my son or something. But weird thing to say, but okay. Okay, let's go. Yeah, but I did the Rietveld, and after graduation. I had the opportunity to go to the Sandberg, but it was a bit also a thing like, yeah, but you gotta go, if you have the opportunity, go there, and that's a master. So I went there straight after. So I didn't have any time. So basically, when you're in art school, you're in the womb.
Yeah.
And you play. But then from that womb, I went to another womb. And then in that womb, I also got even arrogant and cocky. I thought it was fantastic. And then I had the chance to go into another womb. And I went to London to another master. So suddenly for, 4 years normal, then 7 years I was in school. And there was a dumb decision. I shouldn't have done that. I would not advise anyone else to do it, because you just have to sometimes be born. Then you think, this is a fucked up baby. Then you have the chance to go in another belly and be born again, you know. But if you are doing all the pregnancy, basically, of all these schools after each other, you just don't have an in-between break to think what kind of thing you actually want to do. So that was dumb.
So you'd advise to have a leap year in between those two womb
100%,
times?
or 4 or 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, thanks. Thanks, that's a good one. Brian, are you ready?
I guess. Well, one of the good things that I'm proud of is early, because I worked 12 years for a theater company.
Yeah.
And after that, I finally really took the leap of being an artist. Because I was before, but I didn't like to claim it because I knew a lot of real artists. So
you were like, that's not my title yet.
Not yet.
You're just Brian who works at Made in the Shade.
Yeah, exactly. And when one of the projects I did as an artist was the Sabrina Stark album cover with all the black women.
Yeah.
So that was an idea that I had, and through my conversation with Sabrina, because we were talking about people she looked up to, and so we came up with that idea, and I checked out Munir Raji, and we did the picture. And there could have been more ladies on there, but scheduling issues, and we didn't want to Photoshop. We really wanted everyone there.
Be there.
And so that's something that I'm very proud of. I remember that someone, more people, a few people actually sent me a text like, okay, you were, and I have to say it in another way. People thought I was pretty safe at the theater world as an art director and communications person. So because it was funded, and people were like, okay, but can you also do cool stuff without all of that? So this was one of the first larger things that took a lot of people by surprise.
Nice.
And bad stuff.
It doesn't have to be bad stuff. You could have. The good one is fine, because I'll get there.
Okay.
Or else you're chewing away all my questions for
I'm sorry.
Sunny.
So with me, it's a different story. I think I came from a very tumultuous last 5 years of the 90s into the millennium. So those last 5 years from 95 to 2000 were very... me being a model, art performer, freelance, this, freelance, that. I mean, there was no goal. I just went with everything. People saw they could do something with me, and I went along with that. And then when the millennium started, I knew I needed some more structure in my life. And Supper Club Amsterdam just was going to open in 2000, and I was offered, I was offered gorgeous. I was offered to become the face and the hostess for the first 3 years, which was very nice. I mean, my network is so huge, and it was so new for Amsterdam to have a dining concept like that with creatives during the evenings. That we had that in Amsterdam. But after 3 years working on the floor as a hostess, I was... this was in the 90s, though. I was doing walking a show for Mugler.
This was before the Supper Club.
This was before Supper Club. But then Supper Club, it was also a platform where you can grow. And they offered me to be creative director from the Supper Club. That meant I was looking for a creative network to give platform in the Supper Club, So party organizations, name it, you know, art performers, artists, VJs was very popular back then. And next to that, all the creativity around the dinner you got. And I was involved with all the supper clubs, international, to find creative staff, performers, everything. So I traveled a lot. That was really, for me, like, okay, I had some structure in my life that I really needed. And it made money. It was good money. And I was traveling. You know, that was really positive.
But so, because you started at the supper club, because we're trying to focus on those first few years, right? That I mean, a lot of entrepreneurs that are starting, that are ready to take those next steps into their entrepreneurship, their creative entrepreneurship, are watching for those tips, right? So within that time, on the floor, supper club, you're doing it, and then you get this chance. Did you have a strategy? Did you know exactly what to do? And how did you handle that?
Well, of course, at the supper club, it was just a steady job. But next to that, I started to become a DJ. And that was actually my being an independent entrepreneur next to my job. Because I felt, okay, this is one part of me, but there's another part of me. Because I always tell creators, like, you know what? Do not more than two things, you know? Because creatives tend to go, I can do everything. But I think if you focus on two things only and make that big, or people get to know you for that, then it's very clear for the outside world what you do, you know. And when I started DJing at the first Fashion Week of Amsterdam, 2004, it was clear, Sunny, she's the hostess and the face of Supper Club, and she's now also a fashion DJ.
Yeah, with a fashion DJ.
Yes, because I decided, of course, in the beginning of the career, I did all the clubs, Jimmy Woo, Paradiso, everything. But I also saw there was a lot of discrimination going on with putting the female DJs always first in the lineup. So people never saw you.
Warm up the crowd that isn't there
And
yet.
it wasn't making that much money. And I was like very much like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I really want to also make money. So the fashion world had a lot of budget. Most of the time they had budget for the DJs. And a lot of DJs didn't want to do the events. So that was like a real big market for me. And I did DJ a lot. And thank God also Supper Club allowed me to do that. But it was very important for me, okay, since I'm also becoming a DJ, I need to go to KVK.
Yeah, you registered the KVK, Kamer
Yeah,
van
because
Koophandel.
all the...
House of Commerce?
Yes, because all the... all your bookers, they don't want to pay you under the table, they want an invoice. So that is actually one step to becoming a professional, because you know you need to have that tax number and
so
everything.
That was
and I had a resentment towards it. We're like, oh no, I just want to be.
Just give me
But
my money.
actually, because of that, I got so much work because it was easier for companies
To find
and
you. So you
brands
took a step towards being more professional, and then the world was more open to that. Aukje,
Yes.
I would like to check in with you how your first steps were, because indeed you talked about the two wombs you were in. I mean, you graduated Masters of Art at Sandberg Institute, Central St. Martin in London. You're a visual artist, but as co-founder of Sexyland, where was that turning point for you in the beginning of your creative entrepreneurship?
I came back from London, and then I just thought, okay, as an artist, you are in a kind of hierarchic space where you are at the bottom, and you need other people to like what you do to grow. And I didn't like that idea at all, to have a turtleneck and to lick ass at some openings and to just all those things where it's not really about, but it's a subjective world. So it's not only about how good you are, but also about networking and all those things. So then I was once in the studio at the Torhuistuin in Noord, and that was not the Torhuistuin yet. It was then just a shell building. And there was a man, Chris Keulemans, a very important man. And when I was having my studio and being annoyed, he said, this space is open, do you want to do something in there? And then me and two friends, Arthur van Beek, who's also the founder of Sexyland, and Cito Noordholm, we decided to create a museum, and it was called the Eddie the Eagle Museum. So it's the Eddie the Eagle is basically the worst ski jumper in the world,
Yeah.
who actually became very famous for being so bad. And he was for us the symbol for the no fear for failure. So we started this museum, and we thought if you want to be in a museum, create your own museum. Then you're at your own hand. And how I felt a lot of people must have feel. So we started to do these exhibitions with party and food and music, all of it together at once, but also, for example, with the musicians from Central Station. And then my mom came at the opening and was like, this is amazing, because we put them in front of an installation of an artist who was very big. So there was a great juxtaposition. And then I thought, yeah, she would probably not give them €1 when she would see them in the station. And in this context, suddenly it is nice. And also we saw food as art. And the same is with Sunny. I know Sunny from Supper Club. And when I came there as a small kid, just thinking, wow, you know, it was just amazing. And now it always sounds a little bit like, yeah, but that's normal. But things weren't normal then. Then it was actually, you didn't have that shit. So also with Eddie the Eagle, we had really old people, young, everything was art. There was amazing crossover.
So it wasn't normal, and
no,
not to say y'all created it, but how did you know which steps to take? How did you know, okay, like, I need to talk to this person, and this is the steps we're taking to make sure that this is going to be, at least for us, it's going to be amazing and inspiring, and, you know.
Well, we took as I got sometimes fear of failure. So the most clever thing, I think, doing in that sense was calling it a museum about failure.
Okay, yeah.
Because then you can't fail. Because it is already in system.
The failure.
So it can be a fuck up, and when it all went wrong, everyone's like, haha, look, oh, this is Eddie the Eagle Museum. They're so funny. So that made it really free, because it was just about that it doesn't have to be perfect. Nice. And that everything is possible. That you're never too old, too young, just everything. And I'm not saying I created it, but I do, it was fresh. And people liked it. So, but yeah, then what happens is people liked it a lot, and we became the crazy sidekick from all the real stuff. Oh, can you be the crazy sidekick for this big festival, for this big museum? And we were again in the beginning like, wow, seriously, foam, whoa! And at one point, I was thinking we're just being used for people who are actually completely boxed, and we are getting like always that budget that is just a bit, for €500, you just giving your whole life to it. And then we thought, okay, we're not going to do that anymore. And then the idea of Sexyland arose, because it's basically exactly the opposite of Eddie the Eagle Museum. It's there we didn't have a space. We were just everywhere always. And Sexyland is basically the only thing we have is a space. And whoever wants to do something in there can be the owner. And
of Sexyland.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get into that later. Brian.
Yeah, sorry. I know story, every question you ask is quite, it's not a quick answer.
I know,
I really
so
tried.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. Again, that's why we asked the three of y'all, and we have a little over an hour, so that's fine.
Okay.
But Brian, to you, because you already said that indeed you worked at Made in the Shade.
Yeah.
Very long. That was, Made in the Shade was, how do I say it? Theater company?
Yeah, it was a theater group. Their inspiration was also hip hop culture, it was amazing.
And you started there as an intern.
Yeah.
But in the end, you did a lot. You were the communication guy. You were there. There was a warm bath, 12 years long, and then you decide to say, okay, Brian needs to spread his wings and do something else. What was that?
I kind of was fired though.
It was fired.
I had to go. No, it was the time that political party was pretty big. We won't name names, and they kind of destroyed culture a bit in the Netherlands.
Oh, yeah.
So our group, we just had this big merger between two groups, and we had this great space.
Because that was MC Theater.
Yeah, and that was good to go, and then everything needed to get shut down. Funding was pulled from a whole lot of groups, not just our group, and so we try to be a place for like-minded, great theater performers, instead of, because we weren't able to make our own stuff anymore. So we did that a long time. That worked out. Was pretty rough sometimes, but we had too many people, so we had to. A few of us were let go, and I was like in Ontslag ronde nummer 3.
The third round.
The third
was
round.
Your round.
Yeah,
to go.
was my round, and we were all cool with it. Not really cool, but we were like, okay, if I have to go so that this can stay, then that's fine. But I had to like reinvent myself, because
How did you do it? Because you have that. Did it feel like I have the freedom to reinvent myself, or I have to? How did you do? How did you make that switch?
My feeling was I have to, because I had 2 kids back then. I have 3 now, but so I was like, okay, this is not very handy right now to not have a job, and I was. Good at a lot of things, because it was a great playground where I could test out a whole lot of stuff for 12 years. Jeez. So and I was trusted by my people there. So so it was a very safe place to just invent and try out and help other people and make soundtracks for theater plays and all sorts of stuff. And now I had to, what are you? So it was funny that Sunny said, you have to find 2 things. That's literally what I heard when I started interviewing people. I just started interviewing people that I found interesting.
Yeah.
To find out how they did it, and how I could use those tips and cherry pick and find my own way in that.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Brian.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, but it turned out to be very fun and not stressful at all, because I also had a feeling for like I can't lose.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
you have only to gain.
These kids have to. No, it was more like these kids have to eat.
Yeah.
So whatever I'm doing, it needs to work. So we're not taking. So it was like this ultimate inspiration to succeed.
Nice.
And so at some point I talked to a lot of people, but I remember one talk with Bas Koopmans, designer, Buster, and he said, "Yeah, you can do a lot of things, and I see that, and I know that, and sure, a lot of people know that, but new people won't believe you. You can't be I'm just thinking about some stuff now. You can't be a designer and a stylist and a DJ and a photographer and a video director, and people won't believe you. They'll think you're lying.
Much. Yeah.
And just think you're full of yourself.
Yeah.
So so he said, find a box that you fit in, because people will put you in a box anyway. So you make sure that it's the box that you're comfortable in, so you set the tone yourself. And that's when I thought, okay, visual artist. After long, hard thinking.
You said visual artist.
Yeah,
that's the box, because then it's still...
You can do anything, almost.
Yeah.
Because if I make a children's book, of course, he's a visual artist.
Yeah.
And if I make a short movie, because he's a visual artist. Painting, he's a visual artist. So it was very freeing to find that box.
And this was one of the people that you interviewed, that you talked with, who gave you this tip, like find a box.
Yeah, but there were a lot of tips. I remember talking to Vincent van der Waal from Pata as well, and he told me, okay, I do this for Pata, and that gives me an amount of money in the month, so that's cool. Yeah. So my art I can just do because I want to do it, and I don't have to create art for companies or whatever if I don't want to.
Yeah. So you have that freedom. Make sure that you have that certain income that is steady, because at Sunny I also heard like Supper Club was the one that paying for, and then you have also the freedom to be creative and to find that box either you fit in, yes or no.
Yeah. So that was a bunch of those tips. I can't name them all, but all of that was very beneficial. So my tip would be, whoever you enjoy as a creator, try and interview that person for yourself. It doesn't have to be for a blog or whatever, but just
for your own information.
For your own information, and try to do that steadily. Find a way to interview them. Start a podcast or whatever. It's just find a way to speak to people.
Which you also do.
Yeah, and it's because
podcast.
of that reason also.
Brian interviewed me many times.
Yeah, but it's for me personally, it's cool to. It's not always to gain something. It's also to help out. Because if I know Aukje or Sunny can do this and this, and someone asks me, "Do you know anyone that?" I'm like, "Of course."
It's network.
Yeah, but it's in a very natural way.
Yeah. Okay, because indeed, networking. The three of y'all, you know each other, whether either by name, by work, everything, right? We fast forward those first 5 years, or call it 10 years in the year, fast forward to being comfortable, 12, 15 years in the game, doing what you do. So you have already built up a network, you have already built up sort of maybe your signature, your sound, your brand. But then how do you manage these things? For instance, Aukje, you have Sexyland, right? A co-founder of Sexyland. There's a lot happening there. How do you manage all of the happening, keeping your brain with it, and still having fun? Because it has to be fun for you to be able to continue doing it, right?
Yeah, actually, it sounds cliche, but what you say is exactly what it is. If it's not fun, so if it doesn't give energy, then you just only are losing energy of it, and then that's a burnout. I don't think people can work too hard, because I even feel I can work harder, but it's just the fact when there's something that just doesn't feel right, you're not comfortable with what you're doing, it annoys you, that's when it starts to hurt, because then energy is just leaking from you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, fun is a big element. Being self-secure is a big element. For me, alcohol is also a big element, but I know I'm not really allowed to say that. But,
what are you not allowed to say?
A bit of alcohol.
A bit of alcohol. You're allowed to say whatever you want, Aukje. It's you.
Yeah. That's Jeff. It's the God.
Fun is a driving factor. And
fun,
Sunny, because you had focused on being a DJ, cover girl Sunny.
Yeah.
The one and only. I remember seeing you and we're like, oh my gosh, Sunny, she's spinning those tunes we want to hear. Oh. And you had branded yourself very smart fashion DJ.
Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, is there within that there are still some challenges, right? What are the hurdles that you?
Well, being a woman also, of course, in that field, there are not that many at that time people who are taking you serious. Mm-hmm. So I really needed to find out, like, are they really booking me because they love my tunes, or it's the whole picture that they like?
Okay,
well,
yeah.
Eventually, they like both. So, and I knew that. I knew how to brand myself without social media at that time.
How did you know that? What are these?
Well, what you said before, I mean, it's network. I mean, I was working at the Supper Club. I was working before the Supper Club already 5 years in nightlife. There were a lot of people who knew me in this city. Mm-hmm. And I knew that those are the people who are going to give me work.
Yeah, so
you know, so I've always been a nice person, because girls like me can also be a bitch sometimes. So, but I was always like nice to people, and I got a lot of work, and people told me like, because you were so nice always.
Because you were nice to me, they remembered you.
They remember me. Once this guy in a club, he was totally stoned, blah, 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 fell on the ground. I helped him up. I gave him a glass of water. I brought him to the taxi. And 10 years later, he was working for Philips, some big shot, blah, 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 and he booked me. And he came to, because I didn't remember, I just helped somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
And he said, yeah, you probably don't remember me, but you helped me because I was totally wasted, put me in a taxi, and, you know, and I was like, oh, no, I don't remember. I probably was also maybe a little bit. But, I mean, it really helped, you know. I mean, at that time, we didn't have social media, so the people around you, the people where you are, that was your social media. So, you know, you had to leave a mark with them. But I also learned in that period that I am a brand, you know, because
how do you know what's the brand Sunny?
Well, what you just said, like Sunny is this fashion DJ, personality that will come to your party, and she did also this, this, and this, and this. But people at that time, like the beginning of the millennium, they were like, that's the fashion DJ.
Yes, indeed.
After Supper Club, I knew people associated me with promotion, because at one moment people thought Supper Club is from Sunny. Yeah, but probably I did it so well because I got all the phone calls, I got all the emails, and I made such a mark. And then somebody told me, like, you know, you would be a great PR.
Ding!
And to be honest, I didn't even know by then PR, okay. And then this, she's now an angel, a woman came on my journey from a PR agency. She said, aren't you Sunny? I said, yes. And what are you doing now? I said, I'm not, well, I actually stopped working at the Supper Club after 11 years. And I actually don't know what I'm going to do besides DJing, because I always wanted to do two things. And then she said, well, I have a PR agency, and I think I'm going to teach you PR. And I was like, yeah, I should.
Because this was also something, you didn't think about it.
No.
It came on your path, but you were open to it.
Yes. Yes. And also, I think, I mean, with me, it's so different than, I mean, with every creative, it's different, of course, their journey. But with me, it was also a lot of self-reflection. I had to, my process of becoming who I am as till this day, and finding the right people. Well, in the creative world, the right people get me. You know, I don't have to explain. That's why we all, you know, I mean, Aukje's world, Brian's world, you don't have to explain, you just be. You know? But I also felt growing older that I wanted to try also that other world of being more corporate, you know?
And then that PR
And then the PR thing came, and I still enjoyed it till this day.
Super dope. Okay, not to go too deep into it, but a little. What was one of the first things she taught you about PR? One of the tips that you can give somebody, like, this is something you need to know.
That I am a brand.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Like, the network I have is money worth.
Yeah.
That's
Brian,
the first thing.
Brian,
it's all about the network.
Yeah. I was always a team player. I still am, but when I had to leave MC Theater, you're forced to turn the spotlight on yourself. And I had a lot of practice working for this dope group. So I did know what to do. It's just I didn't want to be uncomfortable. So I wasn't going to be anything else but myself. Yeah. But I was going to show people what I do a lot. So I was, I think Instagram was a thing then. So I just started drawing a day, and at the end of the week, okay, that one's cool, and then you post that and whatever. So at some point, when people think drawings, they think me, and drawings became animated GIFs, and animated GIFs became this and became that and became a shirt, and shirts became blah blah blah, and you could buy them. And
album covers,
Sabrina Stark cover, and another Jonah Fraser cover, and other stuff for Noah's Ark that I also did when I was working for the theater group. So I come from hip hop culture, and everyone there already knew who I was. So that was a great backbone to have, and then you start getting more and more achievements by yourself, your own merit, and if you keep creating and keep loving what you do, then creation isn't very hard. And if other people don't like what you do, you just remember, but I'm not for everyone.
Yeah.
So that's okay. Bye. And it's like not everyone has the same taste buds. Some people
and that's
don't.
Okay.
Yeah. So I learned that earlier. You're not for everybody. And back in the day, I was like, oh, everyone should like me because I'm very nice and friendly.
But that's gone, right?
Having to do all that work for theater groups, and you put your heart and soul into these art pieces, these performances, and then you see maybe a negative review or whatever, and you're like, huh? And so I learned again. A tip would be try and join a group like that. Like a
collective that has
a collective or a theater group. Some people think, okay, I want to work for this clothing company, or I want to work for this music label. But I worked at theater. That was when I started. It was very hard to make that look cool. And the thing was, our performances were cool. So that was the basic thing that needed to be taken care of. That was. And then it's the PR. Then you have to find ways to help people see that you are something else than what they think theater is.
All right. All right. Speaking of something else, something cool, something that you might think you know what it is, but you do not. But you are very welcome to get to know it, because we got some music for you. And that is a song by Ana Silva, and on the keys, Margie Sinia. Margie, oh yeah, Margie's next to you. I couldn't see her because she said yes. Okay, so first music, and then later on we'll have a small conversation, but enjoy this very nice music by Anna and Margie on the keys.
At dusk, when I stepped outside, I lost myself, caught myself wondering. At dusk, I lived a life with a lack of direction, lost a little more. At night, when I stepped outside, no rest, so I kept myself walking. That night I arrived, but I couldn't stay longer, walked a little more. I keep on breathing. I keep on breathing, I keep on breathing. At dawn, when I stepped outside, I got myself long after darkness. At dawn, I survived. After monsters I conquered, loved a little more.
Yes, yes, we can clap. The people that are here, we can clap.
Thank you.
From your debut EP, Paradigm 1, and later on we will have more of Anna and Magri. Because I just gave you another Margie. See, I said Margie, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, did I say something wrong? Margie, I'm sorry. I was doing great. I was doing great. Y'all doing better. So in a few more. Okay, back to these amazing creative entrepreneurs who've had, I think, 2021, even though, you know, the world is, on fire? For y'all, it's also been on fire in good ways because there's a lot of good stuff that has been happening. I mean, children's book, theater, whatnot, international daily paper stuff happening, sexy land, sexy world. Let's get into still, right, those tips and managing the process. Aukje, I would like to check with you again because Super Sexy World is now trying to find a permanent spot, right, in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Take us a little bit into this process. Like, how are you managing this? Are you, because you're not alone, there are also other
people. Not alone.
Open your eyes.
Yeah.
And that's great that you're not doing it alone. But are you like the creative one of the team that you're working with? Can you tell us a little bit about the process?
First of all, it's called Sexyland World. And
yes.
What's becoming is Super Sexyland World. And then we're going to Sexyland Worldwide, split record Sexyland. Come on, I gotta say this right. No, I'm not alone the creative. I do think with me and Arthur, we got that money from the funding, but they also had as an extra with it. So that's the difficulty. So you get money, then you're really happy, but actually the money is also problematic because they want you to be professional. Mm-hmm. And by being professional, you start to become looking at companies that did things that before you, and then you trying to copy that, and that actually can take away just that thing that made you special in the first place. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we did it, and we're still weird, so it's okay. But we got now a zakelijk leider, so a business leader, how you say it, someone who's good with money, Samira. And me and Arthur, we have been always two captains. Arthur is a bit more on the long run, and I'm more quick. So in creative, on the moment, I'm more with the network and things, and he is more busy with the vision. And yeah, he just has more patience than I have. Basically, but he's also very creative. What was your question, actually? I don't.
I think because you said indeed, I think I got a part of my answer answered.
What was it?
Question
I
answered.
The other half.
It was how do you manage that and the role you have within the team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I actually like that you came to the point where you said, you know, you have the part where money comes into it, the business side, which makes it sometimes less fun because the world, the people, or if you get fundings, expect you to be more professional. And I would like to get into that because within all the three of y'all, even though it might be different sections, indeed, money comes into it, business, other people. So handling that part, deciding like, okay, now I need either a manager representation, either a partner. Can you take us a little bit with you, Brian, how that went for you, and Sunny also?
As an illustrator also, I really wanted an agent. And
because?
Representation is
matters.
It really matters because I don't have to talk about money. And so you can be the nice artist, and your agent can be a pit bull if need be, and that's amazing. So
does it bring freedom, artistic freedom?
It does because someone helps you to create, so that you don't have to think of certain things, and you do have to think about them. You talk almost every day, and okay, do you want to do this? But oh, you don't. Oh, would you do it if this and this changes? And so it's like ping pong with you keep each other sharp. And so representation is good. What was your question?
Why are y'all doing this to me? Because the thing is, I love the answers I'm getting, and I'm already going to a next question.
Okay,
but
okay.
No, the question was, it was good. The question was,
okay, but then...
Yeah, because I'm doing the other side. Like he's doing I'm getting an agent or blah, blah, blah. But there are tons of creatives that, you know, where can you put them in which box, which agent,
Indeed.
which you have art performers. Well, who's representing art performers? So for those creatives, I mean, that's what I did. I was the DJ, but I wasn't with an agency. I had to do everything myself. So I made my own little contracts. I mean, I looked at what other DJs had. They had a rider. Okay, let's make my own rider because, you know, you have to protect yourself.
Yes.
That's what you learn, you know. You have to protect yourself, your money, and that everything is arranged well. But if you're not there yet, you know, yeah, it's always handy to ask advice around you or to your peers or to people who are longer in the business. And that's what I always do with the young ones. I always tell them, like, you know, protect yourself, you know, because I also learned in this business that, like Aukje said, like, you know, the other world likes to have you because you're the crazy girl, or you're the crazy DJ or the crazy whatever, and oh, here's a little handshake
change,
for
but
you,
not like seriously.
and therefore you need to protect yourself. That no, what I'm doing is serious, but there aren't that many creatives that feel that they can go to a representation, to an agent. So I think a lot of these creators are doing it themselves, but then the tip is like, you know, if you have to make agreements or contracts with new opportunities, I mean, and you have to do it yourself, you can find anything online now.
Yeah, so do the
In my
research.
days, honey, in my days,
what I do find, to respond to two of you, is that also if you protect yourself, where we live in now, it is also so easy. Because, for example, I really wanted the gallerist because my artwork was so strange, and I could be there. Thought, oh yeah, I'm not the girl with one type of thing. So for me, I wanted to use a gallery because I thought if I'm represented, then it gives me some credits. That if it's strange, then immediately you have the credibility that other people, oh, but she has a gallery, so it must be good. It's not that she doesn't know what she has to do yet. She just wants to do all these different things. So it is just also a mind switch of how you can have the world view you, and that you can do exactly what you are doing, but it's just framed differently. And nowadays, with a manager, exactly what you two say, make your friend your manager. You can just make it's free to have this website, it's free to have this invoice, because the system also got way more open. If you think it works to give it a bit more body, call my manager, then that's actually a handy thing to do. So then you make that friend into your protege or something.
Do you think it adds to, let's call it credibility that they believe you more if you say, you know, I have a manager, I have an agent?
Yeah, perception is everything.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's everything. So if you put out there that you're this amazing artist, and your manager says that you're this amazing artist, and the people you work with are, this is an amazing artist, then you are an amazing artist. So you have to talk it to existence almost.
Yeah, and when you are the only one that says you're an amazing artist, it can also come across a bit lame. You need other people to talk about you as an amazing artist.
Create
you got to
that
select
buzz.
as much people around you. Yeah, Brian, amazing artist. And you can say, oh,
thank you.
I'm not. And I say, yo, you are. Oh, son, you're so good.
Yeah.
Then they don't have to do it anymore.
But I mean, I also learn now because of my job as being the PR manager from Daily Paper. I see a lot of new creative generation coming up. There they have so many more tools than we had to be seen.
What are, if you can name one, like for instance, seeing indeed the change, right? Can you name some of the tools that you see now that you're like, the young creatives have this now. If I had that, it would be nice.
To be honest, social
Instagram.
media is still a platform for creatives to find each other or to window themselves, to get known, you know, on this platform. While we had to do it with talking, word of mouth.
Yeah, people needed to like you.
Yes,
and
you know, and that's network. But now I see this whole new generation. Sometimes not even they take the opportunity, but not enough. You know, I mean, an agent at the end of the day is besides handling your business, also the person that can generate more work for you at certain places that you would not even dare to ask or show yourself, or that's also what I learned since I was an agent for Jean-Paul Paula for a minute. And we just talked about what are his dreams, where do you want to work, or with who do you want to work, but the person itself will not sometimes go to,
Indeed,
you know,
so the agent
and then you have the
can do
agent that will do that work for you and, you know, pitch you with brands, and that's also what an agent does. That if you don't have one, you're not very eager to do it yourself because you can come
You'll play it
over
safer than the
arrogant.
agent.
But then again, new generation, because my DMs are full. All want to be PR or all want to be
They dare to
designer.
ask.
Oh, I'm a photographer. So they're more bold, I realize, like nowadays.
Nice. And Brian, because indeed, right, getting the buzz around you going, because you have you started the creative collective LMFC?
almost LFMC.
LFMC,
No problem.
okay, I should have just
Damn
read
letters.
it. Yeah, LFMC.
Yep.
Did that help for you to create the word around you? People confirming, indeed, yes, he's great. Check his work out, or that you're able to work together for them, with them.
Yeah, that's a bit different. In my time with Made in the Shade and MC Theater, I just met all these amazing creators, theater performers, photographers, musicians, a cook, all sorts of people that I just wanted to form like my own Wu-Tang clan with these people.
Yeah. And what do you do? What do you do with your own amazing Wu-Tang?
So we help each other out. I'm good at stuff, but not good at everything, and they're good at stuff, but not good at everything.
Sweet.
And so you balance each other out. You help each other. That's something that I see a lot with the new generation. They just decide, okay, we want to do this. Okay, then let's do this, and they do it. And they find YouTube tutorials or whatever, and they just fix it. And we're a little older, but we have also that kind of work ethic. That okay, we want to do this party, but we want to do whatever we want to do, and we just help each other out. So if Joy Amoy, one of our members, is releasing a new record, then Muni Raji shoots the cover, or Edlin Vrolijk shoots the cover, or I start painting some work, and we make a gallery space type feel for her new record. Or so we
everybody
help
pitches in to make this thing bigger, better, and seen.
Whatever one of us wants to do, the others pitch in.
Dope. Would you all recommend, say, okay, what you do as an individual, great, but also, indeed, join a collective or work together with people collectively, so you can again use the network? Is that
I'd say make own tables.
Make own tables.
Yeah, it's just because everyone talks about a seat at the table, but there are a lot of people that want that seat. So instead of fighting for that place at that table, Aukje did it. They made Sexyland. Daily Paper did it. They made their own brand. And that doesn't mean that they don't work with people. They work with people. They make collaborations. They find other designers, other design brands, and they collab. Sexyland is an open door policy. People can own the place for a day. And that's just very smart thinking, but it's still their own table. So if no one wants to work with them, they can still, we're all creative enough to do our own thing. So, so I'd advise, what does building your own table look like? Does that mean you and all your friends work something out, and some of your friends aren't good at certain stuff, so it doesn't always have to be your friends. It could be someone you met at school, or just try and figure out who you are and what makes you happy, or what you think could make you happy, and just try and link up with people to figure it out in some way.
I got a question from somebody at home. I'm an artist now for 6 years ongoing, but my work is not found yet. What could I do to change this?
You can have a show in Sexyland.
You can have, see, Aukje said,
Bam.
You can have a show in Sexyland.
Just like that.
Just like that?
Well, I don't know what he or she looks like. I'm picky about that.
because take us with you for a little bit. I mean, a lot of people have heard of Sexyland, but tell us a little bit about the tabula rasa that is Sexyland, because it has
a new... Fair, what this question was from this artist, that is exactly what it is. I think that's the thing we like the most about it. It's exactly what Brian says, that you basically create a table that the people, because I know how difficult it is. So many people, it's just the one, and if you just at the right time, at the right moment, or if you don't feel you're hot enough, or you're not on that wave, and you make amazing work and people just don't see it. And to be a creative, so you have to find yourself amazing and get up every morning and salute yourself. It's so important that you make these things. It's hard. It's hard if you don't get the energy back.
Yeah.
And it's hard to become old. And that's something you think, oh no, I'm the face of the supper club. What if I'm not anymore this? You know, all those questions, all the things that just because the world is a little bit hard. And that is what I'm most proud of Sexyland. We're just sweet. And we give also really old people, everyone is valuable, and no one is actually cooler than the other, or more important to live than the other. So yeah, that is what you see also me. That's why I get pumped the most from too.
Yeah, and we mustn't forget that a city of Amsterdam is becoming more and more exclusive. There aren't that many platforms for young creatives to show themselves, because it's expensive to be here or there. And I mean, a Sexyland is, I think, Sexyland and the school, there are few, I mean, but in my time, it was everywhere.
Yeah,
you know,
and now it's not, because you have to be
Aukje
there
knows that,
already.
you know. I mean, in a way, Supper Club, where I was working, was actually a little bit already for young creatives, a little bit too high-end,
yeah, it was.
you know.
But I once, my boyfriend, I think he was cheating on me, and he went to the supper club, and in my pajama, I went there. Yeah, and I went there with all the bouncers, and they just looked at me, and I looked awful in like a shit pajama, and said, I'm coming to get my boyfriend here. And they was like, of course, ma'am. And they just opened the door for me to be really, so I do think they're not that high, and they did.
I mean, listen, what we did in the supper club, and these are the women I performed with in the 90s.
Divas.
Yeah. No, what we did in the supper club, of course, the guests, because it was an expensive dinner. And during that dinner, because I saw a lot of images that reminded me of Aukje, when I saw Sexyland images of, you know, art performers that during dinner actually scared the dinner guests. But that was Amsterdam, like, this is what you want to come, this is why you want to come here for, or leave, you know? I mean, but the prices were high-end, but the people who worked there was a mix of everything.
It was
you know?
Amsterdam.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, Sexyland World is coming the most close in Amsterdam, I think, that reminds me of that. To see such a...
So we need more of that.
Yeah, but it's
way more. Yeah.
Way more, yes.
Way more.
But it's not up to the people. All the people want. It's just the fucking gemeente that is just doing really difficult.
I mean, I enjoy
and when you
MC
complain, you
theater
win in Amsterdam. That is just basically...
Gemeente needs to get this. Okay,
Rewind.
So... No, that's great. Thank you. So now it's time for us to have a quick look at actually the creatives, the upcoming creatives of the city, who are, some of them are still in school, trying to figure it out, whatnot. They have something to say, and you're going to check it out right now.
Welkom bij een nieuwe aflevering van Stem van de Stad. Ik ga vandaag in gesprek met jonge creatievelingen en over hun ondernemerschap en toekomst. Hi, wat voor opleiding doe je?
Ik zit op Amfi en ik doe fashion en design.
Ik doe production design aan de Nederlandse Filmacademie.
Mediaredactie. Audiovisueel.
En is het echt een creatieve opleiding? Ben je veel echt creatief aan het nadenken?
Ja, zeker. Ik maak visuele concepten voor films.
Ja, echt heel creatief. Je leert echt heel veel verschillende dingen en het is super breed.
En waar hoop je terecht te komen over 15 jaar?
Nou, mij lijkt het vet om in de filmindustrie te werken.
Bij een magazinebedrijf of bij een modebedrijf als creative director of junior designer.
Sowieso production design en dan daarnaast me specialiseren op interieurs of zo.
En heb je het idee dat je bij je opleiding een beetje genoeg handvatten krijgt om echt een beetje die industrie in te rollen?
Nou, wij leren echt van alles. Dus we leren ook editen en we leren van elk ding leren we een beetje. Dus ik denk dat dat wel goed moet komen, ja.
Ik denk voor iedereen, ik weet niet of ik voor iedereen kan spreken, maar wil iedereen uiteindelijk een eigen brand. Want dat is een beetje hoe je jezelf opleidt hier. Maar we weten er eigenlijk niet super veel van als je meer echt naar de marketing strategy en dat soort dingen kijkt. Dus daar zou misschien wel iets meer aandacht aan besteed mogen worden.
Onze docenten vertellen ons heel erg veel over hun eigen ervaringen in de opleiding.
En zijn jullie wel eens bang voor de toekomst als creative?
Absoluut. Ja, je hebt niet veel zekerheid, denk ik. Tenminste, dat is wat ik nu heb ervaren, ook met stages en zo.
Social media is ook best wel een ding, dus ik denk dat je daar veel mee kan. Als je daar gewoon goed mee bent, moet het wel goed komen. Ja.
Ik denk er wel over na. Het is wel iets wat een gedachte vraagt. En het is natuurlijk, sommige mensen die gaan voor zekerheid. En daar heb ik bepaald niet voor gekozen op zeg maar in de mediacultuur.
Je moet kansen zelf creëren, soort van. Dus ook in deze industrie.
Nee, ik laat het gewoon lekker op me afkomen.
Yes, and we're back. Thank you. Shout out to Cecile for doing these questions. Woo woo. But a small reaction to these students in life and in school who are doing this, because I heard Sunny said like this one guy in the video. He said, "Yeah, but the future, right? You're not sure about this industry." But then you said you're never sure, even if you have the regular job, the corporate job.
I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't have any education. So
within the field that you're working with
within
right
the
now.
field that I'm working with. So I think it's nowhere. It's everywhere. You can be insecure, but you have to believe in yourself, because that's why people are gonna believe. How you present yourself to them, and yeah, I think that's very important. Of course, a lot of the kids that are now in school, I don't want to disappoint them, but a lot of them after the school, they do something completely else, So yes, I do believe in education, but I just also believe you have to really listen to yourself and make sure there are always people around you that lift you up or bring you further in life.
Aukje and Brian, do you think like a creative education program is necessary for the scene, for doing what you do?
No, not at all. And also, I think the school. What I find sometimes scary is that, for example, now if you see a lot of art schools, especially in Rotterdam, then it's not anymore play and we have like crazy art department and that kind of stuff, but it's really already art and economy, art and social construction. So they are already busy in art school to make sure you got a job afterwards. And I found that a shame when I saw that, but I also can understand.
Why is it a shame? What is the bad
Because
about it?
the moment if art school really is the womb, then that's great. You know, you're basically protected, and you can just dress up as a banana and make a rap song with your mom and just show it to the class and just be really proud of it. And then the moment you graduate, it's just lame. No one wants to see it, or you get self-reflective about it. And to play in a safe environment is something I would wish for everyone, because it's very nice. And to be already in that school, busy with the job you're going to have, I found a shame to see. But then again, is like art and the whole field. We also, for myself, I also think I got lucky. It's not that I'm better, you know, but there is like it's an astronaut. Everyone wants to go to the moon, but there are like thousands of art students graduating every year, and they can't all go to the moon. So, yeah, it's also sad that there is also a chance you don't make it. And only for that, I would say, like what Sunny also said, you do a lot of times something else. I do see a lot of time that people chose something creative. So you choose that part of like scary, because I am a singer, I want to sing. Or I'm a paint, I feel like I'm a paint, and it doesn't work, that it doesn't matter to change then. That because when it's creative, you feel like a complete failure if you didn't. But there's if you think about it, there's so many things you didn't do, but you just don't think about it anymore. Maybe I want to be an actress, I also left it. But a lot of times in art, I got a good tip. Actually, your biggest gift that you have is a lot of times the talent of the thing you didn't become.
The talent of the thing you didn't become.
Yeah, so basically, let's say you are, I want to be an actress. Let's say that I want to be an actress, but I didn't manage to become an actress, but I'm a very outgoing artist. And that is because I got that thing of acting. Actually, I'm really good at it. So actually, I got an extra thing of something that I wasn't good enough for. That is my strength in the other field.
That's very well said. Yeah, that's very well said, because I kind of have the same thing. As I always drew, I always made art when I was a small child, and I never stopped till this day. But I have a bachelor degree in communication. So that's the school that I did and finished. And during the school, I was like, I don't know if I learned anything. And I found out that I learned a lot because I worked at Made in the Shade. And the thing was that now, as an art entity myself, I actually use art entity as myself, but I actually use the things that I've learned from the communication school. Why? And that's why people see my work quicker, or that's why they. That's why I understand if I paint this like this, then I know that this could happen.
That baggage in your bag.
I'm thinking differently. I'm thinking like an art director. I'm thinking like I'm seeing myself as a brand, but I'm actually liking what I do. So another tip is really like yourself.
Like yourself and what you do.
Yeah, because it's energy. It's if you know you're the shit. It's not an ego arrogant thing. If you just know
always stay humble. Always stay humble.
Exactly. So if you know I'm
grateful, humble.
Grateful, humble, but if you know you're a nice person and that you treat people equally and normal, then you are the shit. You're actually a good person, and that energy, it's like your aura shines brighter. So people like working with you, like what you do, or they don't like your work, but they like you. But at some point, you make something that they actually do like, and then they're like, okay, I like you, your work, but this thing, that's amazing.
Yes.
So then you have a conversation, and you stay linked up to these people in this way.
And to yourself.
especially yourself. So if you like yourself and your work, then okay, no one likes it, but I like it. I
Yeah.
feel good.
Then again, creatives can be very insecure people, you know.
Yes.
And I don't know why that is, but a lot of creatives are insecure about.
You're your own
is my
biggest
wo-
critic.
Yes, exactly.
So how do you deal with that, Sunny? Because you deal a lot with creative stills. Yeah, you brought it up.
You ask me. Ik weet het niet, Aukje. Kan jij hierop?
No, but I would love to speak in Dutch. I hear my Rotterdam English accent. I hate it.
We're almost there. We're almost there.
Yeah, no. I think what you say is really true. It's also said if you see the amount of the most inspiring and beautiful people I've known are dead and are oversensitive for this world, because that's again a quality that a lot of creators just have a bit more than the rest. And that makes it so valuable, but it also makes that you have extreme doubt in yourself. You're very hard on yourself. If you think of yourself as being divine, which you need to think, and when it's mediocre, it's so bad immediately. And because you feel you got that. And for that, I have to be... For that, I only know for myself that if I think about the people who died, that I wish I had the more chance to tell them how good they are. And that's maybe we go round circle, be around people, be that person, that you gotta big each other up.
Yeah.
Because then they don't have to do it themselves, because that also works. But I say to you, you are amazing. Wow, how you did it. You just go home, you think, I'm fucking amazing. And just we need to tell them, because it's hard for yourself.
You need to tell each other and invest in each other with that love to receive that back and keep it.
Brian, you're amazing.
You're amazing.
You're amazing,
You're
Brian.
amazing.
No, but I
Baki,
really
you're
think
amazing.
you are amazing.
No, but really,
Wow,
I mean,
yeah.
all of
We're
you
gonna
are
meet
amazing.
soon.
And at the same time, very inspiring, right? I mean, when I grow up, I want a piece of everything that you have. That's what I think, looking at you. At the same time, you also know that you had a journey to get here. You've went through a whole lot of stuff, and still we put you on that pedestal. You will kick yourself off. That's your thing. But we put you there. And then with that question, me being an inspired being, looking at the creatives that the three of you are, if I want to do what you do, would you say, yes, go for it, and take this with you? Or say, no, don't do it, stay at home? You'd say, yes, do it. What's the tip? What's the tool you want to give me? Give me something. Like, okay, for sure. Listen to positive affirmation every day.
If you really want to be, if you really want to do PR, Jennifer, I mean, I would be the same. Like somebody offered also to me, like, come and work with me. I would offer you, if I really see that you really want this, then I can look for possibility that I will.
love this. Where this is going, I love this. I'm enjoying this so much.
Really, but because that is also
Jennifer, if you really want, she can do something for you. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how I got the opportunity.
Yeah. So
you know?
indeed. So also, but
It's
not
giving
just for me
opportunities
personally.
to other people.
She means what if young people, what would be your tip to any young person?
Any
that
young
wants to
person.
be
So not just me, because me, I absolutely love the fact that I know that Sunny's got my back. Because this is a dream far away, but Sunny's got me. And you are all a witness of that.
Aukje toch? Oh, sorry.
But Aukje, thank you. But indeed, if there's anybody watching who says, I really want to be in PR, I mean, I'm getting out of this also the tip, surround yourself with persons and people that see you and who are willing to push you further.
Exactly. I mean, there are internships where I work.
Internships.
Yeah, I mean, there's also so invest also in yourself. There's so much you can find online, and surround yourself again. Where I said it in the beginning, with the network that is going to bring you there.
Surround yourself with a network that's going to bring you there. Brian, what do we got to do to be like you?
Wow.
In our own light, of course.
No. You just really, really gotta my art is very much powered by you all, by the people I see and the conversations I have, and I get inspired by that, and then I try to draw something that lifts up your platform, so that people get to see you. And so if you want to be like me, be curious and empathetic and talk to people, and just talk to a lot of people, and it doesn't always have to be an internship. You can also just mail somebody and just ask them to pick their brain for 30 minutes somewhere, and you'll buy the coffee or whatever, and
just to have a conversation, to get food for thought, and for talk to people, ask questions.
Yeah, go to stuff, go to their shows, go to Sexyland, go to anything. Go everywhere.
Put yourself out there. Aukje, what is your golden tool you're giving us?
For people to say yes, do it, or don't do it, right? That was I would always say yes, do it. And I think just remember that if you compare yourself to others, they are just as lame as you are. It's just that you really gotta just, it's so easy to think you are here and the rest is there. Also, if you think, oh, you want to be me, you already me. I'm nothing. I got no backbone. It is also just going for it. So just, really believe in that no one is as cool as you think they are.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay, so we're going to let that sink in, marginalized. But Anna Sylvia is back on stage. And Anna, before we hear you and your amazing voice again, I would like to know, for you, how was it for you starting as a creative, as a musician? How did that, if you can put it in a nutshell?
Ooh.
Because I see you nodding at the answers that are being given here.
Well, first of all, it's finding passion, I guess, something that you want to live for, actually. And then I think I actually remembered what Brian said, like finding your box.
Yeah.
And I think as a starting creative, or actually maybe developed creative, I'm finding my box, and maybe my box can change over time as well. And finding focus. So it's kind of a blessing and a curse if you have a lot of talents or things you're interested in. And it's about choosing, making choices, and going for them, I guess.
How did you find your box? Actually, how did you know? Because you have a specific sound with your voice and the synths, and this is a small setting, but normally also you're a little bit bigger setting with the band. How did you know? Okay, but this is Anna Sylvia. This is Anna Sylvia. This is it. Check in that box.
By experimenting. So we went to the same conservatory where we met a lot of musicians that did other stuff than we did or than I did, and also maybe the same stuff or stuff that I got inspired by. So it's not only surrounding you by people that can, like, that are maybe further than you, but maybe also on the same level, inspiring you on another level or on another aspect that you can explore together, actually. So
greatness.
That, yeah.
Okay, and then now a little bit about your debut EP. Tell us a little bit about it, the sound, the feel, the find.
Ooh, so an old band member of mine asked me lately, like, he wasn't keeping a track of what I did, and then I ran into him and he said, like, do you still make adventure music?
Adventure music?
And I said, I guess I do.
Nice.
But maybe on another level now. So my music became more electronic, actually. So this is kind of the intimate version of the songs. On the album or EP, it's more electronic.
The electronic version, yes.
Yeah. But definitely adventurous.
Adventure music.
Yeah.
And it says Paradigm 1. So does that mean we're going to get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Yes.
Ooh.
So my dad used to show me a picture when I was a kid, and it showed an illustration of a woman. And he said, "What do you see?" And I said, "I do see a very old woman." And then he said, "Oh, that's funny. I see a very young woman." So this was an illustration where you could see two different things, which illustrates that I see something else than you do. So you look at the world from your own perspective, and I do too. And Paradigm 1 is a collection of 5 moments that were of very important influence on the way I look at the world. And I think Paradigm 2, the next album or EP, will be my next point of view at the world. Yeah.
All right. So where can we find 1? The people that are watching right now, the one, okay, 1, where can we find Paradigm 1?
Everywhere. No, it's on Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Instagram, TikTok. It's like
it's all of the channels that it needs to be.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and if you look for Anna Sylvia,
yeah,
and then Paradigm 1, I'm sure you'll find it.
All right. So earlier on, we heard breathing, and right now we're gonna get in the dark.
Yes, in the dark.
All right. Well, Margie is still on keys, and the stage is all yours. Anna Sylvia, enjoy.
Thank you. Follow me in the dark, in the dark. Come for me in the dark, in the dark. Trees that cast the shadows, a moon that lights the path. There are flowers and a river flowing through the bed. Leaves weighted by raindrops and wind to clear the air. There are big predators hunting. There's me and I'm aware. Follow me in the dark, in the dark. Come for me in the dark, in the dark. At night when danger's hiding, the beast that can't outrun. From the darkness eyes are prying. It's with me when I'm gone. I wonder why it's easy to get lost. I wonder why concealing seems so hard. I wonder why it's easier to fall. I wonder why I'm always on the run, always on the run. Follow me in the dark, in the dark. Come for me in the dark, in the dark. Follow me in the dark, in the dark. Come for me in the dark, in the dark.
A round of applause.
Thank you.
Yes, and as I said before, please find the Paradigm 1 of Anna Sylvia and Margie on keys. Thanks again. A round of applause. Thank you so much. But also a very big thank you for the guests here in the studio. Aukje Dekker, thank you so very mucho for your contribution. You are amazing.
Aukje.
Thank you, Aukje. Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Sunny Jansen. Cover girl Sunny. Sunny, the amazing. Thank you. Brian Ellstock. Thank you very much for being here with us, and keep creating, keep doing you, keep connecting, keep networking, keep giving us all those goodies. And I cannot wait to hear, see, feel, and experience more. So thank you for that. Thank you very much for joining in today, even though it was via Zoom, you were here because we got some questions, and I like that very much. So let's keep that vibe going. Next week, we are back, and it's going to be all about film and documentary. It's going to be amazing. So I will have in the studio Sanne Rovers, who is a documentary maker. She has the documentary Crazy Days. That is, by the way, you can check Crazy Days on Pakhuis de Zwijger on the 8th of December. They will be in the studio on the 10th, so do your homework on the 8th. Check out Crazy Days, which is a documentary about the National Opera and Ballet in times of COVID, made by Sanne Rovers. And who is also here, film director Aaron van Valen. You know, the guy that made the spin-off season, award-winning series Mokro Mafia. You want to be there. You want to be here. But then through Zoom, via your home, to the iPad, ask those questions. Be with us, join us, tune in. I hope to see you there. My name is Jennifer. Thank you very much. Goodbye.